name is Chen Lin, and I work with HMFH Architects. The office we've been in Cambridge for 40 years. We have worked on a wide variety of projects within the community, and today I'm just going to talk about our involvement in this very city block that we're in the city of Cambridge essentially owns the entire block with the exception of like 3 or 4 houses. That we've been hired by the city, I want to say late 90s, to start working on the renovation of the complex here. That the War Memorial Building, for instance, was designed in the late 1990s, and at the time that USGBC was just forming and Lee was in its infancy, and then they were working on establishing the program. We designed the building, however, funding didn't happen, and it got shelved and then brought back. And at the time, within that time frame, under the leadership of people such as Henrietta, that the city had passed an ordinance to require all city buildings to be LEED certified. And literally this information came to me like 2 weeks before the project go out to bid, when they told me that we have to make this building LEED certified. I couldn't answer that question. I just froze there. Because when we designed the building, the regulation wasn't there. However, this is where the foresight of the community, because the community had asked us, the city had asked us to design the building to the best building we could at the time. After looking at the construction document, and I was able to, with confidence, go back to say that we can make it LEED certified with some modification to the documents. Went out to bid, we got it built. The War Memorial, some of you must know it well because this is your community pool and the gymnasium, has been certified as a LEED silver building as an end result. And then we are currently finishing up the rest of the Cambridge Rindge and Latin school for this coming summer. And then in this particular, now that we have time to look at the project and then look at it more carefully, and we seriously go after the renovation project in terms of, and with all the things that Stephanie had just talked about, improving the envelope in terms of getting better insulation on the roof. They're not glamorous at all, and getting better windows, and getting better lights so that we use much less energy in terms of the energy needed to light the building, as well as reducing the amount of cooling that it would take, because all the energy, all that light that you're seeing down up there, all that turns into heat. And then so if you, in this room, even at this moment, that if you actually pay attention, you're actually feeling the cold air coming down. The air conditioning is actually on. And so what you're doing is that if I'm using more energy to light the building, then that will turn into heat, and the air conditioning system has to work harder. So by reducing the light is actually a good way to reducing the amount of energy consumption in larger buildings. It doesn't quite work in a smaller building, but in a larger building, that's the case. And then so that we have gone in with, and then we've done things such as water reduction and so on and so forth. And just on the energy side alone, we were able to, we were proud to announce to you that we will be achieving 40% reduction of energy consumption, translate to be just slightly less than 29% reduction in the energy cost for this building compared to what would have been a code minimum building. And that translates to roughly I forgot the number on the tons of CO2, but it's just shy of 60,000 trees per year of offset if you were to plant trees. So these are something that you, as Cambridge residents, every one of you should be very proud of, because that's the leadership of the city that got us here. And this building will be open this coming summer. And then we also have done a number of things that are slightly out of the ordinary. There is a small electric generator in there. When you generate electricity out of fossil fuel, that roughly you get 25% to 30% of the energy become electricity. The rest of it is heat, and often that just simply go up right into the chimney. In this case, what we're doing in this building is that waste heat, what otherwise would have been waste heat, is being used to heat up that swimming pool over at War Memorial. And that's part of the reason that we can actually achieve the energy saving. And we also collaborated with the city to apply for a grant to get a photovoltaic system. The budget did not allow us to, we did not have that much money to install a photovoltaic system, so we went out and get we have a $300,000 worth of grant from the MTC to design and install the photovoltaic system and at no cost to the city. Well, actually, there is some cost. The city has to pay 10% of the overall cost. So we were able to get a 30 kilowatt system on the rooftop, and then we were able to find it, increase the efficiency by putting them on the existing roof monitors, which is south facing, and then lift it so we don't have to install any more structure on top of it. And that all of these efforts that we put into this project also resulted in NSTAR, who is going to cut a check about $250,000 to City of Cambridge as incentive money, because that the city is doing such a good job on the project. And this is something that I'm very proud to be part of the team that the city has given us the opportunity to work on. And that the city has also done a number of things, such as we have done this up on this part of the Cambridge Street, and as well as on Fulton Street, that the trees that's going to be planted, normally when you plant trees in the tree well, that around it become a bonsai tree. They never get mature because the roots can never stretch out. And all of you would know that right here there's a grove of mature trees. That's because there's enough landscape or area around it. And so what we're doing is on Cambridge Street, wherever possible, that we install something called structural soil, which is basically soil underneath the sidewalk that allow the tree roots to grow underneath and reaching the larger landscape area to get the nutrients. And that will give the trees a better chance to reach its maturity and then get to be a full-grown trees eventually. And so that is part of the project, even though it doesn't get us any LEED points, which I kind of wish that they would be a little bit more lenient on that. But that is something that we're doing as part of this project. And then more of this is on the upstairs. There's a poster boards that you can read into the details if you want. Thank you.